Last video, I took a look at the DS exclusive Shonen Jump crossover platform fighting game Jump Superstars. It was an okay game, but I didn't really see any reason to play it in today's day and age. But today, I'm going to look at Jump Superstars sequel, a DS exclusive Shonen Jump crossover platform fighting game known as Jump Ultimate Stars that released one mere year later. But was 1 year enough to fix all of Jump Superstars' problems? Short answer, no. Long answer, kind of. Jump Ultimate Stars released on November 23, 2006, exclusively in Japan on the Nintendo DS. Just like Jump Superstars, the game was never released outside of Japan, meaning it was never released in a language besides Japanese. At first, it may seem like my biggest complaint with Superstars will still be present. But there is hope, for one brave soul has translated the game from Japanese to English. So, I'll actually be able to understand the story this time. So, the English translation only covers text, nothing in cutscenes or icons, which just so happens to include most menu buttons. However, there are descriptions for each, so I can still navigate things much easier than I was able to in Superstars. But that's enough chit-chat. Let's jump right into the real meat and potatoes of this game to see how it differs from Jump Superstars. Spoiler alert, it doesn't really differ all that much. Ultimate Stars was marketed as a sequel to Superstars, and while by the definition of sequel it technically is one, I would say the words Definitive Edition fit it much better. The raw gameplay is almost unchanged, opting to simply add a couple of moves. In addition to the jump, light attack, strong attack, special attack, guard, and punt from the last game, you can now also dash, use ultimate actions, and use a block break-esque attack. The reason I described the last move like that is because it technically doesn't break a block, rather it forces your opponent to swap characters. As for ultimate actions, they're character-specific moves that boast a variety of different effects. For example, Naruto can perform a counter and Luffy can eat to heal. There is an additional system added that I'm pretty sure wasn't in Jump Superstars. Essentially, there are type advantages like in Pokemon. Each character is assigned one of three types: knowledge, strength, and laughter. These three work in a rock, paper, scissors like relationship. Strength beats knowledge, knowledge beats laughter, and laughter beats strength. Depending on which type your character is in relation to the type of your opponent, you can either deal additional damage or less damage. However, the differences in damage isn't that noticeable at all, so it's not really something you have to worry about and it doesn't feel all that important. Due to the fact that the gameplay is largely unchanged, my same gripes I had with the first game are still present here. It still feels clunky and slow, you can mainly win by just spamming special attacks, and most of the characters feel exactly the same. But you shouldn't write the game off just yet. Superstars' main feature was its Coma System, which is back in this game and has been expanded upon. As you may remember, Coma are manga panels that can be arranged on the bottom of the DS screen. There are three different types of Coma. The Coma type is determined by the number of tiles that the Coma takes up on screen. Help Coma are simply one tile and give different boosts to characters that they're placed next to, such as providing extra energy for special attacks. Support Coma are 2 to 3 tiles and can be summoned during battle to assist your character in some way, such as attacking the enemy. Finally, Battle Coma are 4 to 8 tiles and represent playable characters. Activating these will simply swap what character you're playing as. The biggest change with the Coma system from Superstars to Ultimate Stars is the addition of an evolution system. No, this one's not like Pokemon's. When completing missions, you earn points, and what you can do with these points is use them to evolve your Coma. By evolving your Coma, you can take them from Help Coma and evolve them into Support Coma, then take the Support Coma and evolve them into Battle Coma. Now before you get carried away, not every Coma can evolve into Battle Coma. Not even every Coma can evolve into Support Coma, but I still appreciate this addition. When playing Superstars, I felt like I wasn't really working towards anything, but by adding the point and evolution system, I now have a reason to actually want to complete the missions. Speaking of missions, let's take a break from the gameplay and talk about story mode. Just like in Superstars, I, again, have no way of knowing what the story actually is because I can't read Japanese, but again, just like in Superstars, it seems to be a generic story about how the different anime worlds are brought together, and the heroes must team up to stop some great evil, yada yada. The missions this time around are pretty much exactly the same. You start with some tutorial missions, then after that there are a few different types of stages. The 4 main ones are to defeat your opponents, collect more points than your opponent, collect all the items before your opponent does, or destroy all of the stage walls. Out of all the missions from Jump Superstars, why did they choose to bring back Break All the Walls as a mission? Destroying all the stage walls is literally the most monotonous and mind-numbing objective in this entire game. I do, however, like how the missions are positioned in this game as opposed to in Superstars. In Superstars, the map was divided into generic worlds like grass and desert, but in Ultimate Stars, the map is divided by specific anime. So there's Hunter x Hunter world, One Piece world, etc. What I like about this is that by playing through the anime world, you unlock Coma themed to that specific anime. So say for example you want to unlock Gon as a battle Coma, then you could right away go and play through the Hunter x Hunter world. This way, you can unlock the character you want right off the bat, rather than having to trudge through every single mission until you happen to unlock a character that you like. Something that I didn't mention in the Jump Superstars video was the stages. The reason I want to bring it up now is because some of them in this game are just terrible. The stages range from being too big and boring to being too cramped and difficult. For example, the default stage is fairly large and features a number of floating platforms to traverse around. However, this just makes fights drag out longer because you have to actively chase your opponent down. It doesn't help that the gameplay is super slow, especially jumping, so you can go extended periods of time without seeing your opponent at all. On the flip side, some stages offer so little space that your opponents just constantly fall off. For example, there's this One Piece stage that features platforms that flip over, meaning that you can fall through them. Unfortunately for the NPCs, it seems that they just don't realize this, so they'll just keep dying on their own until the match is over. I have been complaining a lot, so let's cover another positive change from Superstars to Ultimate Stars, that being the character roster. Superstars had 34 playable characters, whereas Ultimate Stars has 56 playable characters. A 22 playable character increase may seem like a lot, but it's not that big of a difference when you consider that 34 out of those 56 are just ported over from Superstars, but it is still an impressive roster that'll definitely give the game props for. In addition to new playable characters, there are also more manga series represented in the game thanks to support Coma. Superstars had 24 represented series and Ultimate Stars had 17 new series, bringing the total to 41 different manga series. In terms of gameplay, there isn't really much else to cover. You can fight locally against AI opponents or against friends. You can enter training mode. Yeah, but what do others think of this game? Ultimate Stars, like Superstars before it, received generally positive reviews at release. On Metacritic, it received an average Metascore of 89 and an average user score of 9.9? What the hell, guys? I can most certainly see the appeal of this game, and it is by no means a bad game. The Coma system is interesting, and of course it's always fun to play as your favorite anime characters crossing over with your other favorite anime characters, but that's really all this game has going for it. The missions are repetitive at best and tedious at worst. The gameplay is slow and clunky, mainly because it's built for the DS, and despite there being an English translation, you still can't read half of what's being said. You can't even understand the full story, but I'm sure you're not even missing out on much. It's definitely an improvement over Superstars, but I don't really see any reason for its existence, let alone a reason to play it today, especially when if you want a portable platform fighter, then you can just play Smash Ultimate. I love the character roster and I love the concept, I just wish it had a better execution. If this game had been released on a home console with a smoother fighting system and a better story mode, then I think we would have had something really special on our hands. Which is why I'm looking forward to playing the next Shonen Jump crossover fighting games. They had a real novel concept with Jump Superstars and Jump Ultimate Stars. So I really think they would have taken all the feedback from those two games and made the Shonen Jump crossover fighting game that anime fans deserve. Wait a minute. The next one only has One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Naruto? Then it's J-Stars? Twice? Then a mobile game? Then Jump Force? God. I'm gonna have my work cut out for me.